Well guys, just when you thought this government couldn't get any more demented, David Lammy pops up and says hold my ethically diverse gender-bending beer, as it's now being reported that the Starmer government through Lammy has sent £50 million of your money to Syria, you know, the terror group that took over the country recently.
Fuck pigs.
Oh yeah, 50 million of your money has just been sent to a banned terror group by the government, despite the leader of it being a former commander of ISIS, they claim.
You what?
The Telegraph writes here, David Lammy, the Foreign Secretary, said the UK has made contact as he announced 50 million of humanitarian aid for Syria.
What a wanker.
He said that HTS, which now runs most of Syria, remained a banned terrorist organisation, but that Britain can have diplomatic contact, and so we do have diplomatic contact, as you would expect. No, you don't have to have contact with them at all. They're in a foreign country thousands of miles away that, let me tell you, is and will never be our business to bloody worry about. In fact, the only time you even need to think about Syria is when you send back the so-called refugees here to escape the Assad regime. He's gone after all so they can start packing up their shit and off they fuck back home to their dust bowl. Because that there is one good thing about a regime change in the Middle East. The so-called refugees have nothing to run from anymore and can be sent back, which I'm sure you all agree is something that should have started last bloody week. Instead, Labour's plan will actually end up costing even more than it was before, as the Telegraph also reports that Syrian refugee pause will cost up to 11 million a month instead of just sending them bloody home. But the fact Lammy is sending them £50 million will quite possibly piss a few people off when you think about the fact this government is raising taxes and robbing pensioners of their heating help, all while sending millions to Syrian terrorists and billions to other scumbags none of us even give a shit about. The fact that this is a banned terror group though just adds to the embarrassment Labour should be feeling, but it's Labour after all, isn't it? This lot are not embarrassed about anything because if you disagree with them you are
Far right.
Now I can probably guess the answer to this question before I even ask it, but I'm interested in hearing if anyone that watches my videos actually thinks we should be sending money to Syria, because I can tell you I bloody don't.
Pandemic